right, welcome everybody. This is actually our first live podcast recording. So welcome to our viewers, our first of the year. So Jon, let's get started by just telling us a little bit about where you've been, what's happened to you in the last month, big life changes, and then let's go forward and talking about the vision for 2021 with Momentum and all the agents we are so lucky to be partnered with.
Yeah, well, I had a big life event, so happy 2021, everybody. It's a new chapter, new year, and we had a newborn baby boy, very healthy, and so we're going through that first month of sleep deprivation and figuring out new systems and models and routines and habits that'll make us successful. And this time around, we have got a full support system, right? The first time you do anything, you're just basically figuring it out, and now we've got it figured out. So Bruce, tell us about, Momentum Realty. We started in January 2020, January 17th. So it still hasn't even been a full year since we opened. And I just want to hear your perspective because Bruce, just to give some background on Bruce, this is his second job. I don't know which one's primary first. Now he has 3 jobs. He does a bunch of different things. He was our marketing director for the Brooks Group back in 2018. I sold him a house. He is a really great business person in terms of building financial wealth and making sure you track your numbers and hit what you need to do, and from the investment side as well. And he joined us at Momentum January 17th. And then what happened from there, Bruce?
Yeah, so I mean, you stood in my kitchen and said, "Hey, we're opening a brokerage. We need someone to come along and do the marketing." So I was simply the marketing director, so to speak, when the brokerage started, building the page, helping mastermind the logo and the mission values, all that kind of setup stuff at the beginning. And then halfway through the year, I came to you guys and said, like, "Hey, I want to do more. I want to make more." And you said you have to do the recruiting. And at first, I was like, "No." Because I had never done that. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be the guy knocking down people's doors, cold calling them and annoying everybody like, "Hey, join Momentum." But what started happening over those first 6 months between January 17th and mid-June was like, it started to become a movement, right? It was just like, all the previous contacts you had at other brokerages who knew you, who you had helped before came over. And then we started seeing a shift where, like, we were getting sort of deep in Jacksonville, but there was a jump between people who didn't necessarily know us or had a loose association with you. And so my role was then became, marketing director and recruiter mushed together, and we called it the brand ambassador. So what I found is that in my wheelhouse and in my strengths is having these conversations with people about something that I'm passionate about. And even still, since I've been talking just right now, like I'm already amped up, fired up. So like, we created a sales funnel, so to speak, to get agents educated about us enough to want to come in. And then I have the conversation with them on the front end and, have the cultural fit, make sure their standards are up to what ours are as far as customer service and communal wisdom and the, being dedicated to the tribe, right? Adding value and then getting back out and repeat. So, what I was finding is that the conversation that we were having, Jon, about Momentum repelled most people. But the ones that are attracted to it are the ones who are ideal customer, are the ones that are a dead fit for Momentum. So then what we did was we said, okay, well, we have something here. Let's just 10x the content. And so the rest of the year, we focused on building the podcast. We focused on having more conversations, and we did virtual events. So getting our message out there, rather than, shaking the tree and getting 1,000 agents, getting, 100 of the right ones in to partner with. And, you and I sat across the table from each other the other day, and you're like, I'm not even worried about numbers. We're not worried about numbers. We're almost at 100 agents in just under a year. It's not about the numbers. It's about getting the right people and partnering with them who we'd like to go, to a restaurant and have lunch with, but also cramming Momentum Realty full of value so that these people never want to leave, because there is nothing else better out there. And we're at the point where we say, if you don't get it, best of luck, but we still want to help you, but like, you're just not a fit for us. Like if you don't understand like what we're trying to do here, then we're not a fit for everyone. We're not a fit for you, and that's fine. And we still want to help you. But that's the amazing thing. It's really taken from from January to June to now, the change is incredible. Just in myself, in you, in the business, in our partners, like it is truly a movement. And we're changing the way real estate is done, not just in Northeast Florida, but all over Florida. Like shout out to Chad Schroeder, our first Tampa agent. We're in Tampa. I've been to Tampa one time, and it wasn't for business. Chad, he saw the content. I sent him a couple emails. We had a phone call, and he is a high powered, awesome guy who just is a dead fit for us. And so right now, my thing is, how do we find 100 more Chad Schroeders all over the state and help them to the best of our ability and cram pack them with so much value that they shout it from the rooftops for us. So just for me, that whole transition between where we started halfway through, and we keep slightly pivoting the message and slightly pivoting what the activities we're doing to attract the right people. It's amazing. It's been life-changing for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're a new business and you're opening an entrepreneurial endeavor, you're trying to figure out who you are. And so I feel like this first year, we've really figured out who we are and who we want to be and what we stand for. And I think we're one of the few companies that stand for something other than just building profit for the bottom line for the owners and trying to stack up value for yourself versus value for others. Of course, there's other companies out there, but when we say it, we mean it, and we're going to back it up with action, which is why every single day we're getting together and figuring out how do we help our agents do this? How do we get them to have more conversion? How do we have them live better lifestyles, right? And so we're constantly evolving. And I think what this year did for us was give us clarity. It gave us 100% clarity of who we're looking for. And you hit the nail on the head. We don't want everybody. We don't want 1,000 agents that are average, stagnated, don't want to grow, don't want to listen to anybody, think they know everything. They say they've been around forever, and that makes them the genius. The reality is the more you know, the less you know. And there's always room to grow and learn and collaborate with other people. And if you do know everything and you think you know everything, then you should start a podcast too and get out there and share it with everybody and add value. Don't keep all that good stuff to yourself. But at the end of the day, having the right business partners is super important, and it's going to represent the brand. It's going to represent your brand. It's going to represent our brand. And then when people come in, it's going to give a specific type of energy when they enter your doors. So for example, if you're talking with somebody and they're asking all the wrong questions, they're asking, how do I, do you guys give business cards? What do I do with my signs? Versus, hey, who's like the top performing agent and how do they become that top performing agent? Can I talk to them? Hey, I'm looking for growth. Can I shadow somebody for a week? Can I talk to more people within your brokerage? What's the level of retention that you have in your brokerage versus the number of people who are leaving? If they're leaving, why are they leaving? If they're joining, why are people joining? Right? Like asking the deep questions that are really, really important. And if you come across an agent, Bruce, that you're looking to recruit and they're not asking the right questions, you try to put them on the right track. And you say, hey, hold up. What's your goal here? Like, forget the brokerages just for a minute. What is your goal as a business owner? What caused you to get into real estate? And where you are right now, the only reason why people join brokerages is for them to change their financial situation. And they're either running away from something or running towards something. So the first conversation is in business, seriously, is your financials. Running your numbers and figuring out where your business is coming from, what your net profit was the last previous years, where is your money coming from and where is it going to? And I think the problem is most people won't have that conversation. Or if you try to start that conversation, they won't have it with you either, number one, because they don't know, or number two, because they're embarrassed. Well, we can't help people who are not going to be totally direct with us. It's like going to the doctor and not being able to say, like, not giving them what your symptoms are. It's like, well, then why are you coming to the doctor? Right. And so this is what happens is we have these conversations with people. Either one, they don't get it. Number two, they don't come to the doctor. Or number three, we prescribe something and they don't do it. We're looking for that patient, that customer, that business partner who we can have a conversation with, say, hey, we're really good at business and we want to help you become a better business owner. This isn't just about slinging real estate as a job. You become a business owner. There is a way out leveraging to get to the next level. And we want to help you do that if that's something that you choose. And then here's the profitability level at each level of production for you. And I don't think agents are focused on that. So what they end up doing is they work their entire year not running their financials, only to come to the end of it, file their taxes. It's the only time they see what their actual net profit is for the year, and it's catastrophic. And they realize that their broker's making more money than they made, or they're taking like 50 to 60% of their total after-tax profit and giving away to their broker when they have no value that's provided to them other than their broker's a good guy. And I'm loyal to them because they brought me into the industry. Well, you can't pay for groceries with loyalty at the grocery store. They don't take loyalty bucks. They take real hard cash.
You stole my saying.
Yeah, I learned some stuff from Bruce too. We learned from each other. But, I think that this year, so like one of the tests, Bruce, that we've had with people who are looking to join us, and we only accept, I think it's less than 50% of agents who look to join us, is I'll try to have a coaching conversation of some sort to see if they're open to having a different mindset, right? Because we don't want somebody to come into our doctor's office and then be like, no, I'm not going to tell you my statistics. I'm not going to share with you any information. And I'm not going to listen to any of the advice you're going to give me. Then why get a different doctor? Then why switch is the question that we're looking for. And maybe we're not the right fit. If you're not ready for aggressive accountability and want to get to the next level, that's okay. Maybe you'll be ready next year. At least we got to know each other a little bit and you felt some of it. Maybe we challenged you on some of your thinking and you didn't want to hear that. And that's the reason why you didn't want to join. And that's totally cool too. But we're doing our job. Our job is to help elevate the level of service in Florida for real estate customers. And that means customer obsession. And customer obsession, we break it down on our website. You can check it out. We have all these rock solid service policies. We have different standards of how to communicate with customers and what the customer is really looking for. We're doing the legwork for you and then giving you the playbook along the way. So all you have to do is execute the plays. You don't have to figure it out on your own. And by the way, you'll get personalized one-on-one training should you desire it on whatever your niche is in the market and whatever lead generation source that you want. And if we don't know the perfect answer, we're resourceful and we will find somebody to help you get to the next level and whatever it might be. And so I think, again, just to wrap it all up on that point, Bruce, is clarity. Clarity is power. We know who we're looking for. We might not always get it completely right. We're not perfect either. We might not be saying the perfect thing, but we own it. And that is one of our values as well. And we're always looking to how do we add more value to the person sitting across from me? Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the goal. Like, is this somebody that I can help? If it's not somebody I can help, that's okay. There's lots of options out there. Maybe there's another place that can help better. But at the end of the day, we only want to be around people that we know we can give a great experience to. And I think that we're standing by that more and more as we continue to grow and evolve.
One of the most profound things for me is that whole thing that you went through. You recently had a conversation with an agent and you said that to them and it repelled them. A top producing agent making profit that has a team and I think when I go away from those conversations, I'm disappointed because I just so aggressively want to help. I want to add value and it's, it's unfortunate, but we're not a fit for everyone. And we said that. So let's switch gears a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about, the lifestyles of the agents improving, the profit improving, and then the difference it's made in their life. And then I'm going to touch on the community aspect because that's one of my favorite things. So talk about some stories about agents who their lifestyle has changed since joining up with Momentum.
Well, honestly, I think that we should just get them on this podcast and talk to them directly about their experience. I mean, when COVID hit, I think everybody was running their financials and kind of running around with their head cut off because the sales had dropped 30 to 35%. What was funny is that at that time, we kept posting clarity market statistics and people like, no, I don't believe that. The market's still great, this and that. And sure enough, that happened. People reevaluated their financial plans, made the jump because they saw that they needed to maximize their profit to make it through this year. And we had agents that, maybe were doing 1 or 2 units a month and now have tripled that. And they've tripled their profit within 1 year. They're people that came in as a solo agent that now have 2 or 3 team members that are growing a team. We have people who left teams, had 50-50 splits, had 36% splits on top of that, was netting near 18% of the financial transaction, came over, had what we call 100% plus commission, the 100% being our financial model, and then the plus being the coaching and training and mentoring along the way. And you just saw them, immediately 5x their income overnight by making the switch and finally buying investment properties where they can now create cash flow that's outside of real estate. Now they have their active income, which is through selling real estate, and then they also are buying their own investment properties. And what's cool when an agent does that is they learn how to become a better guide on your search. They learn everything themselves. And we teach and show you and have all the resources you need to be able to underwrite a property so you can maximize your return on investment. Prices are high right now, but they're probably going higher next year. So good luck timing the market if you're waiting around another 3 to 4 years or something like that. The Fed has said that they're going to keep rates low. Janet Yellen is coming in and she's gonna, keep rates low. There's no question about it. And that'll continue to drive the real estate activity in Northeast Florida and beyond. But this is what we're talking about. We're talking about wealth building. We're not talking about how do I just serve one more customer? How do I find one more customer? That's great. And we will have those conversations, and it's a very important conversation. When you have that money come in, what do you do with it? Where does it come in and where does it go? We can help you break that down, make it scientific. It's not a complicated conversation. We can have that conversation within an hour. We have spreadsheets and formulas. All you have to do is track it. And it's not difficult to track either. Every month you close out your books, you review it, you cut 10% of your budget. You can have us review it. We give a free profit and loss statement review every single month and share our suggestions. Maybe poke some holes in your plans, which is what you want. You want somebody to come in and say like, hey, have you thought about this? Have you tried doing this differently? Can I share why this strategy concerns me? We're your board of directors. When you join, you get a board of directors. And again, it's your own level of accountability. So if you want more, you get more. If you want less, you get less. And that's the 100% plus model, right?
Plus.
And yes. And here's the thing, like you're not getting this advice from people who haven't done it before, right? This is the major concern. Oh, I'm going to get coached by somebody. We're running multiple multi-million-dollar companies right now. Okay. So like, you're not getting advice from somebody who's never done it before. My wife and I were top performing real estate agents, top 1% in Northeast Florida. We had one of the most profitable businesses I've seen out there. I still haven't seen anybody else's that has been more profitable than what we ran because we were so focused and we had a competitive advantage. We're both ex-investment bankers, right? So that is our skill set, managing the financials of companies. And so that's what we view ourselves as. We view ourselves as your business partner, as your board of director, to help you make decisions for your business. You don't have to follow our advice, but sure as hell, it doesn't hurt to have a second opinion.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you? And when you have a different perspective and your decision-making process is going to be better and better. And the more better decisions you can make over a period of time, the more success you're going to have, because business in your life all comes down to your decisions on a day-to-day basis. And if you have somebody looking over your shoulder saying, hey, you sure about that? Have you considered this? Hey, double down on that. That looks like a great thing. An extra pair of eyes doesn't hurt. The only thing that can happen is you become more profitable and you go further. Because we all have blind spots. I have a ton of them. That's why I have so many coaches, because we move fast, we miss things. Our personal development might not be caught up to where our business is at, and we need to grow as leaders. We need to grow as individuals. We need to learn how to hire and train and coach and mentor and all this stuff. You're going to need help along your way. You cannot do this on your own. You're an entrepreneur. I don't know any entrepreneur that got to the top and said, yep, I did it all by myself. And the cool thing is that we're genuine about it. Like this, we have been struggling to figure out what our mission is. Like me and Brittany and Bruce personally, my mission is to help like in whatever possible way that I can to relieve some of the stress and struggle from being a small business owner and trying to figure it out on your own. We want to help you. These are crazy times we're living in. The market's changing faster than ever. And all three of our heads or four of our heads together is way better than just one person trying to wing it on their own. Trust me.
Yeah, and it's, you talk about struggling to find our mission. My mission is the same, and you've known this because we've been friends for years. Like, I just, when I'm sitting across the table from someone, I'm just trying to figure out how I can add value to you in some sort of way. Like, I just had an agent reach out to me today, knowing that I know a thing or two about, managing 401ks and retirement investing, right? So she had someone to act as a resource for that. It's like, we can't, it's hard to like put a nice bow around everything that we offer, but 100% plus, 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 and then some. And we're trying to add another plus all the time. Like, what can we do more? So like, that's where we've been. That's what we're doing now. But like, let's share going forward. Meeting you and I just had a couple days ago. Like, what's the vision for 2021? Because that's the name of this video, is Momentum Vision 2021. So actually, I'm going to touch on community really quick. Something that's really jumped out to me and warmed my heart and like given me additional sense of purpose is just, I got texts on Thanksgiving. I got texts on Christmas from agents who I met through this organization. And like, if I can share, the last couple of months has been characterized by some life changes for me. So I can't express to these agents how much it means to have them include me in their own community. We just had a Iceman VIP event for Christmas, and I can't tell you how awesome it was to connect with these people and to say, like, thank you for trusting us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and making us greater as a whole. And what a more fitting year to do it than in 2020, where there was our community was shattered by us not being able to be in person. And I would venture to guess that any agent that you approach an organization would say they feel more connected to us than ever. And we're doubling down on that this year. So like, as brand ambassador, one of my goals is to have a social event once a month of some sort. We're getting people together and trying to be as responsible as possible along the way, but like tripling down on the sense of community, because we want these people to be fulfilled, not just with their profit, not just with their lifestyle, but the sense of community and belonging to just round out their life. So that's something that I just love about this, and I'm so passionate about. So what else we got going on this next year?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, this is a business family. So like, one of the things that we really missed when we opened was we were planning to do in-person events and get to know people one-on-one and go out to coffee with people and do all in-person trainings. COVID threw a wrench in that. And so, now everybody has their comfortability level and they can make the decisions for themselves, but we're looking to connect more in person, have more impact in people's lives and their businesses, and bring on more business partners that make sense to want to hear what we have to say and get involved in our tribe. I don't think there's any downside to it. Like, because here's the thing, we're selective, but most other brokerages are not. So you can always go back. It's just like your decision when you come to a W-2 and you become an entrepreneur. You can always go back and get a W-2 job any time of day. Like, that's, anyone's going to hire you if you have a degree and you did a pretty good job for them. But I just think this year, what our goal is from leadership is a couple of things. We almost hit all of our goals coming into 2021, but like, the best thing that I want for my agents in terms of the training and coaching is, number one, I want them to have a customer touch program implemented. I want them to have transaction coordination automated for them and their customers to elevate the level of service. I want to see more 5-star reviews, because here's what we're seeing. We're seeing agents out there that have record months and then they have a 2-month lull, record month, 2-month lull. We want them to help break that cycle of riding the roller coaster of real estate, is what we call it. So my goal is to help them implement their systems and models so that way their business becomes more automated, so they can focus on building more connection with their community and providing better service to the people that they come in front of. and then figure out, the best way to get those referrals, reviews, and repeat businesses. That's what Momentum calls the 3 Rs. That will automate your business over time. Because again, like there's agents out there that are very transactional. They're not relational. They sell maybe 10 homes. They never make a relationship with anybody. When they sell the home, they make it all about themselves versus the customer's journey. And that's a problem. They're not going to get off that roller coaster anytime soon. The goal is to stack your relationships and build deep connections with everybody that you come across, and give them a great experience so that they come back. I don't know any business that can live and thrive by not having repeat and referral customers. I don't know restaurants that survive having to have new customers every single time. It's no different with real estate. So the goal for me is to help agents get off that hamster wheel of lead generation by systematizing and providing excellent service to the population, which goes right into our vision and our mission. And the way that we're going to do that, the how, is exactly what Bruce said. We're going to connect more in person. We're going to be adding jam-packed value. We're bringing in millionaire speakers, millionaire coaches. We're bringing in a health and wellness person next week to not only just build wealth, but build wealth in every aspect or every garden of life. And one of the foundational books of Momentum, there's 2 of them, and they're written by the same guys, this Tribe of Millionaires, which is, where we got our quote from, the what if one choice could change everything, because it does. And then Wealth Can't Wait. And those books are foundational pillars, along with The Richest Man in Babylon, on how we view ourselves as business people and our obligation to better the community around us, because there's a lot of people struggling out there. And you helping somebody find a home is huge. Number one, that's their largest financial transaction. Number two, like Bruce, if you buy in the wrong spot that doesn't make sense because your agent is not educated, that's a huge problem, because that one decision can tie you up and change the whole trajectory of your life. What street you live on, the neighbors that you meet, the community that you live in, the amenities that it has, all of those things are your environment, and your environment determines your outcomes. So again, like your job as a real estate agent is to make sure that you're giving the best service possible. And we mean it, and we want to hold our agents to it. So for example, we've had some agents that joined our cause and then didn't hold up those standards, and Brittany let them go because they don't care about the customer. And guess what? That's okay. We're not going to get every single person who joins Momentum right when they come into the door. But guess what? We have standards because we have a mission that's bigger than profit. Yes, we could keep those individuals and continue to mint money off of them every single month, but that's not why we started Momentum. If we wanted to get richer and make it all about us, we just keep slinging real estate, because there's nothing more profitable than that. But like, honestly, I think that if we can get agents to provide better service and then prove it through 5-star reviews and get those repeat business so their lifestyle just becomes easier, that would be a huge win this year. And if you're interested in having that conversation and what you would need to do, and who you need to surround yourself to accomplish that, reach out to us. We're happy to connect. We know the process, and I'll just give you a quick sneak peek. Starts with doing personality assessments to figure out who you are and how you're wired, and then making sure that your strengths are actually matching the lead generation sources that you're attacking on a daily basis. And then we go ahead and do a review together and a business plan for you on that. And then you accomplish your homework assignments, you come back and we give you the next assignment. And slowly your small tweaks in your business over time will have it won't even look like the same business in a year. It's just not even the same conversation. And that's what we're really excited about. Is you're not going to come in and there's going to be some drastic change, but maybe there's 1 or 2 things that you pick up a month that you actually go and implement in your business. And then all of a sudden it'll look completely different within a year's time frame.
And we're seeing that happen in months. I mean,
yes.
let alone a year. I mean,
some agents, they come in and they're, they sold $4 million in the last 3 years. Each year they sell 4 mil, and then they come in and then they sell 4 mil in 1 month and have like nearly $100,000 month, right? Because they're listening to what we're saying, they're going back and implementing it immediately, and then their execution rate is very high. So obviously everybody has a different level of execution. And what your job is in 2021 is to simplify and limit the time in between the decision that you made to make the change and actually execute. Because the longer that time frame goes, the less likelihood that it is for you to make that change, because your priorities, there's other things that come into life that can distract you away from actually implementing what you've learned. And that's a huge problem. And so we have a bunch of tactics to be able to help you with that. We have success pods, we have accountability groups, we have all these really cool things that we've implemented to help hold our people accountable to their own goals.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, is that not only do we have the system, we have the stuff in place to scoot you along, right? To keep you motivated and hitting your goals, and people that will hold you to that. So I want to leave it at that, man. More community, bettering the lifestyles of our agents, more profit, more investment properties, more $90,000 in my savings account months, like that. Those stories are amazing.
Just not revenue, profit.
Like it was deposited in my account. So we're just getting started, guys. We're just getting started. 2021 is going to be huge. And it's real, like, we just want to help. It's not about anything else than making you successful exactly the way you want to be. So, Jon, thank you for joining me on this first live podcast recording. And thank you for everyone on Facebook who joined. We'll check the comments to see if there's any follow-up questions. But thank you for joining us. We do this every week. We're getting back into it, jumping head first with 2 feet. Does that make sense? Into 2021. It works on some way. So thanks a lot, man. And until next time, this is the Move with Momentum podcast.
Thanks for joining us. See you later.